Okay, but what kind of sick fuck wants you to roast his dog, though? That's messed up.
Well, they were just doing it for fun. It's
a goddamn
funsies.
golden retriever. That's not a joke. Fuck you.
Aggressive?
Absolutely not.
It's just a joke.
I will stab you. It's a golden retriever.
Just let it go.
Hi, guys.
Oh, I am gonna fucking kill you for this time.
I literally have nothing to say. Like, I have no lines. And skip.
My goddamn real doll collection. What are you doing?
All right, I'm going to give this one a try. Why is the studio filled with... Is that fondue? I guess
Velveeta,
fondue.
Tom. It's the Velveeta disaster today.
Oh, the Velveeta disaster.
Yeah. When the tanker ship crashed into that offshore drilling platform in the Gulf and spilled 1.2 million barrels of Velveeta into the ocean.
Eli, you're conflating 4 different disasters, one of which you made up.
You drowned Annabelle. Not Annabelle. Annabelle, speak to me. Motherfuck.
Dude, we're doing the 1960 Valdivia Earthquake today. It was the largest earthquake ever recorded.
Right? And isn't it crazy that after the tanker full of Velveeta hit that rig and spilled, there was an earthquake? Like, that was a day. Huh?
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I was kind of overreacting before. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure I'm all that upset about this. It's kind of like that Reese's commercial. Like, the fake vagina is in my cheese, and, well, your cheese is in my rubber vagina. It's like just two good
I quit
things.
the show. I quit the show.
You know what I mean?
Me too. I'm out. No.
Keith gets it.
That's weird for me.
Came together.
Hello, and welcome to Citation Needed, the podcast where we choose a subject, read a single article about it on Wikipedia, and pretend we're experts, because this is the internet. That's how it works now. I'm Tom, and I'll be shaking the dust off this episode, but if I keep shaking it alone, it means I'm either bored or lonely, so I'm going to need some help. Joining me today are 2 men who spend more time jiggling than standing still, Keith and Eli.
Yeah. Full body shake weight at this point. It's fun. If you want to lose that unsightly arm fat, you just put your hand on me and don't move, and you're all set.
How are you still single?
Right? You want to go to France with me?
And of course, we are also joined by my good friend Cecil. And also Noah is here. So let's welcome the only 2 men I know who can disagree with each other and still somehow both be right at the same time.
I cede my time to the gentleman from Georgia.
In Georgia, not from... And it's nothing personal, Cecil. I can disagree with anyone and still be right at the same time. So it's nothing. Don't take it.
And of course, none of this disaster would even be possible if we didn't have our patrons. That's right. We will stop doing the show if we can't afford to eat. So if you have money you're not using and you'd like us to have some of that, well, that'd just be swell. And you'll even get some patron-only content. So if you'd like to learn how to join the ranks of the swell, be sure to stick around till the end of the show. And with that out of the way, tell us, Heath, what person, place, thing, concept, phenomenon, or event will we be talking about today?
We're going to be talking about the 1960 Valdivia Earthquake.
All right. And Cecil, it says here in my notes that it is your turn to seem knowledgeable. Are you ready to fake it like a porn star?
I have spent my life researching that role, Tom.
Well, I admire the dedication to your craft. Method acting. Tell us then, Cecil, what was the Valdivia Earthquake?
The 1960 Valdivia Earthquake is the most powerful earthquake ever recorded. It happened on May 22nd of that year, and it was just one in a series of quakes that shook Chile from May 21st through June the 6th. This earthquake was a mega thrust earthquake.
Okay, show off. That's okay. I don't have to.
These occur when one tectonic plate is forced underneath another.
Known in geological terms as a Kavanaugh.
The plates in question were the Nazca Plate and the South American Plate. Where these plates meet actually is the easternmost edge of the Ring of Fire.
Okay, and I believe that is at the border of Indian food and Mexican, right? I think that's where that...
No, Tom, the eastern edge, so Indian food and Thai. That you're probably thinking of the western.
And it really doesn't even look like a ring. It looks like a horseshoe for a horse with Parkinson's, if you look at it. The quake had a rupture zone of 800 kilometers. The speed of the megathrust was 2.2 miles per second. And I'm thinking this is different from a megathrust, which only lasts 2.2 seconds, but there still is a whole lot of force, you know?
Okay. Look, that all sounds very earth science and scary, but that's what you get when you live somewhere called the Ring of Fire. I mean, I'm looking at you, California. I'm looking at you.
Johnny Cash got what he deserved, is what Eli's trying to say.
Diabetes, exactly. Suck it, Johnny Cash. And also, by the way, learn to manage a forest, California. I think that's also what Eli was trying to say.
Oh.
Yeah.
Someone's got to be doing the raking, guys. Someone's got to be doing the raking. That's an older joke, but at the time I was crushing. Just know that we record these ahead of it was right in there.
This used to be crushing it. You couldn't hear from right now.
Can you
it
feel
was
it?
from before.
Yeah.
You told it
Trust me.
earlier, not when we recorded it.
As I mentioned earlier, the earthquake was,
was
heralded by other earthquakes.
Okay, is anyone else? It's just me. I'm just picturing like a tectonic plate with one of those like long medieval horns with like a banner hanging from it.
These started on May 21st at 6 a.m. And the first one was an absolute doozy. It was an 8.1 on the moment magnitude scale, which I literally just found out from Wikipedia is a better way to determine strength of earthquakes than the Richter scale. To quote Wikipedia, quote, because of various shortcomings of the Richter scale, most seismological authorities now use other scales, such as the moment magnitude scale, to report earthquake magnitudes. But much of the news media still refers to these as Richter magnitudes, end quote. Or in other words, quake news.
Alternative fracks.
I mean, the press tries to report on it and just gets kicked out of the Ring of Fire. It's just, no.
Which, by the way, is the flaming octagon where you battle Sarah Huckabee Sanders in single combat to win a microphone during a press conference at the White House.
Oh, I'm quitting my job to become a Ring of Fire contestant.
Oh, my gosh. Mother Nature set another wake-up call at 6 a.m. the following day when another quake hits the area, a 7.1. And later that same day, around 3 p.m., a 7.8 hits. I guess that day there was a coal miner strike that was marching its way toward Concepcion in protest for higher wages. They called it due to quake, though. And that's a good thing, too.
Is it? I feel like this is a great time for underground tube-based workers to take a day off, is it not?
At 3:11 p.m. on May 22nd, the big one hits.
You just know there was some Colombian Heath Enright that ran into someone at 4 p.m.
Dude, did you just feel that earthquake? I sure hope that's the only one today. That was serious.
Wait, what do you mean the only one today? Dude, that was the fourth one.
Fourth? Oh, yeah, yep. I meant the only one that the day had left. What was last one?
What time did you wake up, Colombian Heath?
Normal Colombian time.
Okay, what's normal Colombian time then?
3 a.m.
Too early.
3. Okay, if we're being realistic, Colombian Heath doesn't really sleep, so
He sure doesn't.
Also, this didn't happen in Colombia.
This is an earthquake, though. The one that hits at 3 o'clock. This is an earthquake we really don't have terminology for.
Glanderhoos-Newton. See? There. Now we got it.
okay. I mean, that sounds like an overweight Nazi, and I think that's a great naming system from now on. We name the earthquakes like the hurricanes, except with famous bigots only, like overweight ones, ideally.
I like that.
It's a Bill Maher. Again, very, very temperate. At the time, I was nailing it. Everyone's talking about it.
Hey, this quake was estimated to be a 9.4 to a 9.6 on the moment magnitude scale. This quake was so large, it affected a 400,000 square kilometer area. The quake created tsunamis. It swallowed buildings.
That is so hot. Damn it.
It ripped huge rifts into the ground.
Okay, but if it's spit buildings, what? That is so hot.
Oh, and then lick them off their hands? Yeah.
Dude, I'm a spitter guy. I'm a spit man. I'm all the way a spit man.
It's just got to lock eyes. It just locks eyes, and then you're good.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what happens next.
But what's interesting is that it didn't strike the area with equal magnitude. I'm just going to keep soldiering on.
That's all you can do, man.
I don't really have it. I don't have a transitional line there. I just there it is. Just
Me and Tom just opened a Skype window, and we are locking
let's
eyes.
talk about an earthquake, guys. What do you say? We were just talking about cum dribbling out of somebody's face, but hey, earthquakes, guys. So what's interesting is that it didn't strike the area with equal magnitude. Some areas escaped with little damage, while others were completely leveled.
Ah, I see. See, I was uninterested in the earthquake until now, so now you've caught my interest.
Most of the recorded devastation surrounding the earthquake was localized in the city of Valdivia. This was one of the most populated areas affected, even though the quake did extensive damage to the rural and unpopulated areas.
Well, right. Yeah. The empty canyons also had it rough, guys. A lot of alpacas just freaking the fuck out. Didn't know what the hell was going on.
You fell funny. Yeah, that's funny. Idiot.
Their necks all wavy and shit as they're running. The quake caused the water in the area to rise.
It happens if you jiggle it long enough, for sure. All right.
If you're quaking, it should be already wet, I guess. But anyway, the water rose 4 meters or 13 feet before receding.
Jesus.
Fuck. Some guy who just took a shit in the ocean at somebody's party. He's like, stop, ocean's occupied. Just a fucking minute. Hold on. Motherfuck. I am picking up shit with my hands now. That's happening. Picking up shit with my hands.
It hit the coast with waves that were 8 meters or 26 feet high, and a little later with a 10 meter or 33 foot tall wave. The tidal forces were so strong that a ship named the Canalos was pushed 1.5 kilometers up the river and then back again before sinking.
Oh, anyone else have the image? Some guy standing there with his friend. I'm just saying the Canalis is a stupid boat. Ah, it's right behind me, isn't it?
Those guys are like, oh, fuck. Oh, no, wait, we're coming back. We're going to be okay. No, oh, fuck.
And speaking of sinking, there's a thing that happens during earthquakes called soil subsidence. It's where buildings literally just drop right into the earth. And I'm sure you've seen models of this. They'll set up sand or mud with an object on top of it and shake the shit out of the container. When they do this, the object will just sink in place. Well, that happened a lot.
Cecil, this may shock you, but I have not seen models of this.
I feel like Cecil's just walked in on his wife and heard, no, it's a science model an awful lot at this point. See, she shook it.
See, and this is why we shouldn't build our homes in like little plastic containers of sand and mud.
Yeah.
It's bad every time.
Or in big containers of sand and mud called giant fault lines. I feel like that would be a good idea too.
Hear me, Johnny Cash.
The soil subsidence also deepened rivers and created some new wetlands. This caused Valdivia to flood as well, as if they didn't have enough trouble already. And spoiler, they are not going to reach their requisite amount of trouble yet. You see, all their water supply was basically silt water.
Pretty sure that's pronounced salt, Sea Dog.
Okay. This silt water.
Salt like fault?
Okay, right, okay, stop. No. Had some detritus and other debris in it. Debris like entire houses.
See, Eli, you're not the only one with a house that is just debris.
See? There you go.
You and Chileans.
This basically cut off the water supply for the entire area. And immediately following the event, there was a lack of potable water.
There's like some guy with like a life straw with a house suction up against it. Oh, shit. Fuck, it's stuck in there.
He keeps sucking on it. It's making that annoying noise, and his mom won't tell him to stop.
Yeah, just eat the house with a spoon. What the fuck?
Got that slurpy spoon straw. It's not good for either one. You're like, fuck this thing.
And then he's just playing that game where he lifts it up and it falls down a little, and then he lifts it up just so it falls down again.
Use the fries. Whatever.
Fucker.
Just do something.
Yeah. And I know this episode is about the earthquake, but I wanted to include this little tidbit from the wiki page. Quote, on May 24th, the Cardon Calle volcano erupted. The eruption had a few eyewitnesses and received little attention by the local media, which was preoccupied with the severe and widespread damage and losses caused by the earthquake. End quote.
Yeah, you think that's bad? Imagine living there and dying the day before of cancer.
Holy, how shitty does that fucking volcano feel in that moment? Just like blows its
Right?
top and like no one even notices. It's like a fat kid on the diving board no one wants to watch do just another stupid cannonball.
Yeah.
I was going to do a jackknife that time. Whatever. You guys are mean to me all the time.
Like I said earlier, the earthquake set off a tsunami. So let's talk about that part of it. The areas affected by the tsunami were southern Chile, of course, Hawaii, Japan, the Philippines, China, New Zealand, Australia, and the Aleutian Islands.
I love the idea that it was like an Aleutian Islander listening to that list the whole time going, if he leaves us out, so help. Okay, no, we're good.
It's got 2 coconuts for headphones. It's plugged into a seashell.
The tsunami's caused because one plate is compressed against the other and it builds up pressure. And when the plate is released, it shoots forward, pushing the water up and creating the wave.
Yeah, the earthquake sounds like a lot like a 15-year-old kid who briefly got his penis touched. Just
I would be way more comfortable, Tom, if you didn't have such a deep metaphor reservoir of things that are like touching a 15-year-old's penis.
I get that note all the time, Tom.
okay, I'm not here to make you comfortable, Noah.
Okay, but technically that was a simile. Tom, you're welcome.
Oh,
That was for you. But yeah, that was a simile, as in like a deep metaphor reservoir is like touching a 15-year-old's penis.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Just the reservoir tip, just for a second. Just to see how it feels.
Still bad no matter how much you raised for charity.
I'm just waiting for Noah's pedantic correction. A similar is a type of metaphor. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the moment there.
There are some areas of Chile that received a wave from the tsunami that were 25 meters high, which is over 80 feet tall. The wave hit Hawaii and Japan, killing in both of these locations. The wave that hit Hilo, Hawaii, took almost 15 hours to get there. And when it made landfall, it was about 30 feet high. 61 people died.
To be fair, in Hawaii, 60 of those people died trying to surf that wave. 60 of those people died.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking 15 hours later, at least some of them had to be bitchy dads going, oh, we still have plenty of time. That was like 11 hours. I spent too damn much money getting you kids to Hawaii to run off every time there's a little tsunami. No, stay on the fucking beach and have fun. Make a fucking castle.
I'm just glad that the first deaths that we're reporting on are the white American deaths. That's important. I'm glad we
Yeah,
went those
it's not
first.
all about you, Chile.
Yeah. I want to quote the wiki here as we learn about one group that tried to escape the quakes just to get caught in the tsunami. Quote, after the May 21st earthquake, people in one area sought refuge in boats. A police boat, the Gloria, was towing a few of these boats when a second earthquake struck on the 22nd of May. As the sea regressed, the Gloria became stranded between 2 islands. The stranded boat was wrecked when the tsunami wave came in, engulfing it, end quote.
I'm just saying, that first tsunami wave wasn't that big a fucking... It's right behind me, isn't it?
All right. I don't know much about much at all, actually, but fleeing an earthquake? Like, you're gonna run away from the earth, like, in a boat?
Yeah.
Like, was the plan to just, like, motor out past the tectonic plates before the shaking stopped? How is this going to work? What's the best case scenario?
All right, that's fucking stupid, obviously. No, we'll stay in these hammocks way safely off the ground. And we'll be fine. We wait it out.
The earthquake triggered landslides throughout the Andes. Most of them were in rural and less populated areas, so while the damage was excessive, the human toll was not. The landslides also struck a chain of lakes and their tributaries. The blocked waterways basically started building up tremendous amounts of water, and they evacuated the area. They were fearful of a huge flood in the area if the landslides broke loose, so they mobilized hundreds of workers and 27 bulldozers, and even resorted to people using shovels to make sure that they held.
Okay. Well, hey, Cecil, buddy, as much as I love these cheerful, upbeat topics of yours, I think it's time that we pause for just a minute and take a break. for a skit or something or whatever we do next, so I can just drink myself cheerful again. I need this.
You can drink during the A segment too.
I do. Okay. I do so much.
Don't lie to me, Eduardo. I know you've been sleeping around behind my back.
Marichelle, I never would. If I lie, may God strike me down.
Guys, the world's largest earthquake just happened and the dams are all broken and also a volcano exploded.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we did hand stuff, but, it's just...
Hi, I'm Eli Bosnick.
And I'm Tom Curry. That sketch sure was fun, but it also had a very important message.
Hand stuff doesn't count. After all, I do it, so what's the big deal if someone else does it?
Right? I mean, they're basically just helping now, so please remember, hand stuff doesn't count.
Paid for by the Hand Stuff Doesn't Count Foundation.
Hey guys, what are you doing in the studio?
Nothing.
Marriage is going great. Thank you.
Cool.
That was somehow more depressing than the earthquake. Okay, Cecil, can we take a brief break from Eli's sad excuse for a sex life and hear about some other moments of despair and misery? Don't end.
Well, okay, my essay about dating in your 30s isn't for a couple more weeks. Let's relax and just keep it light and continue talking about dead South American
Good plan.
Please.
Good plan.
So the property damage was not as bad as you would expect.
Because all of the 1960s Chile could be purchased with a medium stack of Pepsi points.
Yeah. And spoiler, the 70s don't get much better for Chile. That's when the CIA gave a medium stack of Pepsi points to Augusto Pinochet and bought him a military coup.
True. Oh, shit.
And we also gave him Milton Friedman, the Fredo Corleone of economics. That didn't work out too great either.
So is too. I mean, this is the largest magnitude that we have ever recorded, but there was little infrastructure in the area. Any buildings purpose made to survive earthquakes didn't do too bad and mostly were damaged from soil subsidence. Shit that people made from adobe and other weak building materials basically fucked. A bunch of just regular concrete buildings that were not built up to earthquake code just collapsed.
Okay, just going to go ahead and do a quick summary here. I'm going to note that what we're saying is that because people were already so poor that they had nothing, the upside was that most of the nothing that they didn't have wasn't broken, except for the ones who did have a little bit of something, which then did break. That's
exactly.
I think that's...
Or if you want to put it more succinctly, you're welcome, South America.
Yeah, crumble down economics works. That's just fact.
And I want to temper this. It wasn't all that bad considering by pointing out that 40% of the houses in Valdivia were knocked the fuck down. This meant that 20,000 people were immediately left homeless. When you look at the photos just after the quake, you could see large swaths of the city with all the buildings just disintegrated. Some of the areas that were affected did not have new construction on them in the aftermath and remained empty until the 90s and the 2000s.
Okay, wait, Cecil, quick question. Did I misread? Is this Detroit? Are we talking about Detroit?
No.
Flint, Michigan. I think this was probably Flint.
Nope. No, wrong again. No.
New Orleans, probably.
No, we get the point, Tom. We did.
No, I wish that we
did,
Cecil. I don't think we do. But
I don't think we do. I agree,
right.
Tom.
No. Yeah, no, I think I'm agreeing with Tom, too.
If we did get it, we wouldn't have New Orleans, would we? No.
The death toll isn't certain. The estimates are between 1,000 and 7,000.
Okay, but what if you don't count Trump tweets?
Yeah. And this is not a huge loss of life considering the devastation.
Okay, now it seems like you're softening us up for something, Cecil. Like, if you think about it, 1,000 to 7,000 people, that's not really that.
Anyone could kill 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The low population density helped keep this number of deaths low. And the way the wiki reads, it sounds like people mostly died from the tsunami instead of dying in falling buildings from the quake. The monetary cost was quite extensive. In 1960, the cost was estimated between 400 million and 800 million, which today would be between 3.31 billion and 6.62 billion.
Like, I have questions on the death toll. Like, it's either 1,000 or maybe 7,000. Like,
yeah.
Were they counting the people using dog years? What's the conversion rate for Chileans? How do you fuck this up 1 to 7?
Yeah, it's hard to put an exact number on it. Somewhere between 0 and 6,000 people died of regular stuff while riding a tsunami. So it's hard to say.
All right, but the upshot, though, the silver lining is that for weeks you could just get really good bass from your rain gutter.
The death toll includes one human sacrifice, though.
Did not see that sentence coming. Gotta be honest.
See,
Surprise.
in a town along the coast that was populated by natives to the region, they had a human sacrifice ritual that took place in the days following the earthquake. One of the locals demanded the sacrifice of his neighbor's 5-year-old grandson to, quote, calm the earth and the ocean, end quote.
So what did they do? They dropped him into a volcano like Frodo's fucking ring?
Yeah. Well, they killed him somehow because the article lists him as a victim.
What have I been saying for 6 weeks? We got to kill that 5-year-old. But did you guys listen? No. Crazy Frank always saying the earth is going to explode.
Juanita Beneta Ramsey.
All right, Eli, see, this is why I don't let you come over for dinner. I mean, I invite you, or you ask. I say, that would be fine if you just stop eyeing up the kids for the sacrifice. I've told you don't get to pick. I'll give you the one that's ripe when you get here.
Oh, please be Haley. Please be Haley. Please be Haley.
So let's just head to Wikipedia for the next part here. Quote, the sacrifice was learned about by authorities after a boy denounced to local leaders the theft of 2 horses. These were allegedly eaten during the sacrifice ritual. The 2 men were charged with a crime of murder and confessed, but later recanted. They were released from prison after 2 years. A judge ruled that those involved had, quote, acted without free will, driven by an irresistible natural force of ancestral tradition, end quote.
I heard that.
Sorry, Judge, do you have a fancier way to write savages gonna savage here on your ruling?
Yeah, it's called religious freedom. Let's just call it religious freedom.
I'll put that.
All right, Cecil, real quick, did they leave like a recipe behind or anything? Just, I got 4 kids and I like a barbecue as much as the next savage, so just curious.
This region remains a very seismologically active area. In the 58 years since the disaster there's been 41 earthquakes over 7.1 in magnitude.
Jesus.
In 2010, the area suffered an 8.8 magnitude quake. The quake hit the major population centers in the country, and the quake triggered a tsunami, which destroyed the coast again. The tsunami also caused damage in San Diego and Japan. The damage shut off power for 93% of the Chilean population. 525 people lost their lives in the quake, and about 9% of the people in the region's affected area lost their homes. The monetary losses for this quake were estimated to be between 15 and 30 billion.
All right, Cecil, if you had to summarize what you've learned in one sentence, what would it be?
This essay includes a lot of what Bill Murray warns us about in Ghostbusters, I think. The human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together.
All right, and Cecil, are you ready to face a tsunami of questions from our panel?
I am quaking in my boots.
Well, there you go.
Quaking.
All right, I got a good one.
Earthquake.
If this
It's about
earthquake
earthquakes.
was a Hollywood movie, what would the tagline be? A, don't worry, we put white tourists in the script so you can care about something.
Oh, shit.
B, this movie puts the chills in Chile.
Yeah.
Is it C, Mark Wahlberg was already attached to this movie before we even had the idea for it? Or was it D, Chilean down the law?
All these are really good, but I'm going to go with C because of the end skit. So it's
Exactly.
definitely Mark Wahlberg.
That's why I wrote it.
All right, Cecil, what song is a must for your earthquake playlist? Is it A, Panic at the Disco and everywhere else. B, Living Valdivia Loca. C, Shake, 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 Senora. Or D, and I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
It's definitely not C. That song's about Parkinson's.
Thank you.
Let's
So mean.
let's call forward. And that's let's go with D, the silt, because I know you're going to correct me on that one.
There you go. All Saul.
All right, last one. Cecil, you described the Ring of Fire as a horseshoe, but what'd you say? For a horse with Parkinson's, right?
I did. That's
All
that's
right,
how I
so
described it.
that makes what's about to happen your fault. What's the best name for a horse with Parkinson's?
I'm so
Is it A, Michael J. Horse?
That's low effort. Low effort.
Is it B, Hep C Biscuit?
That's a good one. That one's all right.
He might have other stuff too. You don't know.
Yeah,
You don't want to
yeah.
like draw attention to the one. He might. It's weird. Or C, Belmont Shakes.
Belmont Shakes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's good.
I went to
I wish
an
there
MS
was like
funeral
a-
recently. Just
wish
for
there was like a
Parkinson's.
D, Heath's dad, but I don't think that one's in here.
I like this. I like this
Oh, no, your
vibe we've
dad
had
doesn't have
going over
Parkinson's.
the
He
last couple
he
of
had a
weeks.
stroke. It's different. It's very different. Okay. I'm going to go with C, Belmont Shakes.
That is incorrect.
No, it's correct. It's totally correct. You have
That's
to say
correct.
it.
We changed the pattern.
All right. Well, Cecil, buddy, nobody stumped you, or maybe they did. I don't know anymore how this game is played. So, who's up next?
I'm
week,
going to
bud?
pick Eli Bosnick to follow along.
Yes.
Why would you do that? Why? would
I'm
you
not
do
going to
that?
read the article. I'm not even going to read the title of the article for this next one.
Why change now? All right. Well, for Cecil, Noah, Eli, and Heath, I'm Tom. Thanking you for hanging out with us today. We'll be back next week. And by then, Eli, unfortunately, will be an expert on something else. Between now and then, you can catch Cecil and I yelling and pounding the table at whatever grinds our gears over cognitive dissonance. And if you want more of Eli, Heath, and Noah, check them out over at Skeptocrat, Scathing Atheist, and God-Awful Movies. If you like the show, then tweet it, share it on Facebook, or put a picture of your boobs on Instagram with our URL right across them. And if you'd like to help keep the show going, you can make a per-episode donation at patreon.com/citationpod, or leave us a 5-star review everywhere you can. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, check out past episodes, connect with us on social media, or check the show notes. Be sure to check out citationpod.com. In the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, disaster is about to strike.
Oh, we're going to need a bigger chimichanga, Boris.
Boss.
Don't fucking tell me how to do my job, asshole. I've been mining cheese out of this rig for 26 years.
And they won't have any time to lose.
Boss, we just got a word that take us on a collision course.
I'm going to beat the odds like they're a Vietnamese man just trying to get home to his family.
And they'll fight to stay alive.
Look here, Commodore. I'm Commodoring this cargo container full of tortilla chips.
Can't let you take my boat.
You have to. It's nacho chip anymore. Ah, that's really fucking terrible. Guys, do I have to say that? Oh, what's that? Oh, I'll take whatever movie roles I'm given, seeing as how I'm an incredibly unlikable and untalented relic found only in Dunkin' Donuts in Massachusetts at 4 p.m. and for some unknown reason family movies. Okay, yeah, it's nacho chip.
And only he can save them.
Fuck me, that stings. Do I have like a scrape on the back of my arm or something?
I can't tell. Your arm is covered in molten cheese.
Really fucking hurts. I think I caught it on something when I was running.
Maybe it's covered in hot cheese. Maybe that's the stinging.
Don't interrupt me, it's a scrape.
Marky Mark is Captain Al Gouda in Jesus Take the Wheel.
I pretend to wake up at 2:43 a.m. so nobody knows I'm on steroids and plastic surgery.
Oh no!
Yeah,